It's 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news.
And the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Ed Lingao. The headlines at this are: President Bongbong Marcos says resigned Congressman Zaldico tried to blackmail him. That and other developments over the flood control scandal were in the President's report, released after lunch via his vlog. Take a listen.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Ito patuloy sa aking pagre-report sa inyo tungkol sa mga development sa mga kaso na hinggil doon sa mga flood control project. At i-report ko po na ngayong araw yung AMLAC, yung Anti-Money Laundering Council, nakakuha na po ng 2 freeze order. This brings the total amount of assets frozen to about 12 billion pesos. Kasama po dito ang mga air asset ni Zaldico, ang value mga 4 billion. At bukod pa ron, meron po tayong nakuhang 3,566 na bank account, 198 insurance policies, 247 motor vehicles, 178 real properties, 16 na e-wallet account, at saka air asset na frozen na. Umpisa lang po ito. Mas marami pong asset ay mafo-frozen para maibalik ang pera ng tao sa kanila. Ito po ang aming pangako that the money of the people will be given back to the people. Meron din pong development, yung ICI at saka ang DPWH, magsusumite po ng ebidensya sa ombudsman and magrekomenda sila ng kaso ng plunder, anti-graft, bribery, conflict of interest sa 8 congressman na may-ari ng mga construction company na may proyekto sa DPWH. Lastly, meron po akong ibabanggit sa inyo. Dinapitan po kami ng abogado ni Zaldico at nagtatangkang mag-blackmail na kung hindi po namin kakanselihin daw ang passport niya, hindi na raw siya maglalabas ng video. I do not negotiate with criminals. Kahit maglabas ka na ng video ng lahat ng kasinungalingan mo na pag-destabilize sa gobyerno, gusto kong malaman mo, Zaldi, makakansela pa rin ang passport mo. Hindi ka na makakatakas sa hustisya.
Zaldico's lawyer, Attorney Rui Rondain, denied the president's allegation. In a statement sent to Storycon, he said, and we quote, "I have not spoken to anybody from the government to negotiate a stoppage of the videos for the passport. As I have always maintained, I have no control over the release of the videos." Co has released a total of 4 video statements so far, or well, 5 actually, 4A and 4B, with a couple having multiple parts. He has accused President Marcos, former Speaker Martin Romualdez, Majority Leader Sandro Marcos, and a few other government officials of inserting billions of pesos in national budgets.
8 so-called contractors or congressmen who are also contractors could face administrative and criminal cases before the ombudsman. The Independent Commission for Infrastructure referred evidence over these lawmakers' connection to construction firms that cornered contracts from the Department of Public Works and Highways. These include former Representative Zaldico, Congressman Edwin Garjola, James Ang, and Journey Nisay. Also included are Representatives Agustina Pancho, Joseph Lara, Francisco Matugas, and Noel Rivera. The ICI said these lawmakers received around 1,300 infrastructure projects between 2016 and 2024. Senator Cheese Escudero said he welcomes the COMELEC's decision to end the investigation against him and Center Waste Construction President Lawrence Lubiano. That is over the contractor's 30 million peso campaign donation to Escudero back in 2022. In a statement, Escudero said the decision shows that transparency and honesty in following rules prevail and that the truth always emerges when the process is fair. He added that the COMELEC's ruling strengthens his confidence in institutions and his commitment to serve the people. Earlier in the day, the poll body's Political Finance and Affairs Department said that there was no evidence Escudero and Lubiano violated the Omnibus Election Code and therefore recommended the termination of the investigation on the matter.
And the other stories we're watching this Wednesday, November 26. The The Anti-Money Laundering Council, or AMLA, has secured 2 new freeze orders covering the assets of an incumbent high-ranking official and a former elected official in connection with the flood control probe. The orders cover 230 bank accounts and 15 insurance policies, as well as 2 helicopters and 1 airplane worth about 3.9 billion pesos. To date, AMLAC has frozen 11.7 billion pesos in assets, including thousands of bank accounts, insurance policies, vehicles, properties, and e-wallets.
Former DPWH Mimaropa official Montrexis Tordesillas has been brought to the Sandigan Bayan. He was arrested upon arrival at the NAIA Terminal 3 after being at large for quite some time. Tordesillas is facing a no-bail warrant for malversation through falsification and a separate warrant for graft. This is in connection with the 289 million peso substandard flood control project in Oriental Mindoro, where Zalico and 14 others are also implicated. The Office of the Special Advisor to the President on Investments and Economic Affairs will be dissolved. That's according to Palace Press Officer Claire Castro, who said that the Department of Trade and Industry handles technical and substantial work on investments anyway. Besides, Castro says other functions of the office will be carried over to other agencies, especially, now that its former chief, Frederick Go, is the finance secretary.
In weather, Verbena has intensified into a severe tropical storm. It was last spotted 310 kilometers east-northeast of Pagasa Island with winds of 95 kph and gustiness of up to 115 kph. Verbena is forecast to reach typhoon category on Thursday and exit the country tonight or early tomorrow morning. Signal number 1 is up over Kalayaan Islands in Palawan.
Before we get started, just a quick correction. Montrexis Tamayo is the name of the DPWH official from Mimaropa who was arrested upon his arrival at NAIA. It's not Tordesillas, it's Montrexis Tamayo. I apologize for the error.
Okay, ang daming ganap ngayon.
Parang everyday we say that. Okay, today, by the way, Zaldico has responded to President Bongbong Marcos's video statement. This time, he released a letter that he said he sent to Malacanang back in February.
That's what he mentioned yesterday.
February 2025.
Okay.
This is a 7-page long letter. You can go to our Facebook page if you want to read the full extent of the letter. But essentially, he outlined in that letter the issues with the budget and the alleged rice cartels and other issues. So he is alleging that he submitted this to Malacanang in February 2025, thereby proving that siya yung he's a whistleblower.
He's a
in
whistleblower.
This instance,
Does it have
right?
stamp from Malacanang?
That's the thing. I was looking for a seal from Malacanang showing that it was received, because any documents that
official correspondence dapat may record yun eh.
Exactly. So any documents, any correspondence that are received by Malacanang will have a stamp and an official seal indicating the date and in fact the time as well of the receipt of the document. Pero this letter that Zalico published on his Facebook page, wala. So there's no way of proving once again. Just like with the list of projects that he said that indicated Sandro Marcos made insertions, wala din official seal, walang date, walang stamp, walang anything. So it's hard to ascertain for sure.
Any way to verify that these are actual documents that were received or
Correct.
or transmitted. For example, Malacanang, I understand at a certain point they started using barcodes for
para
documents that were
traceable,
received.
no? Oo. Which should be the case. But again, this document that Zaldico just published has his signature, yes, but there's no other way to indicate that it was received by Malacanang on the day that he said he transmitted it.
And the president's allegation or assertion in his vlog, no? The trade-off that was being asked for by the lawyer of Zaldico was we will stop releasing videos on
if
the
you don't
social
cancel
media.
his passport.
If you don't cancel the passport.
Ba't ka natawa? Parang it's such a small ask ba?
I don't know. Hindi ako judgmental.
You mean if you're gonna blackmail, you might as well ask for something bigger, ganun ba?
I reserve my I reserve my comments on that. Wala lang, it's parang lalabas namin ng video, hindi.
But
So the age of social media.
But in any case, ito yung problem with the he said, she said.
He said, she said, yeah.
It's they literally are contradicting each other, and it's very, very hard without any
Without being
other
able to go to
corroborating
forensics.
evidence. Exactly. To ascertain who is telling the truth here. Because now they're literally accusing each other of things that the other side says, no, we didn't.
Yeah, in the end, it should come down, or in the end, it should boil down to forensics. What can be proven with a paper trail to be on record, and what is just made up. So that's, I suppose, that's what we will be seeing.
Yeah.
When or if the case goes to court.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, it's such a small thing, but a stamp on this document would have, raised its credibility, would have improved its credibility to show that yes, this was received by Malacanang, and actually, in general,
Possibly, it could possibly show. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was really received by Malacanang.
that's true. Pwede rin ma-fake or.
I mean, we're talking about possibilities lang naman.
Oo. But it's something, right? Something
to start with.
To make it a little bit more credible. Just like yung documents that Zaldico published on the projects that Sandro Marcos allegedly inserted. So I was talking to Congressman Kiko Barzaga last night on The Big Story because he started making allegations against Sandro Marcos in September. Pero yung Zaldico documents only were released this week. So I was asking him, what proof did you have back in September that Sandro Marcos was involved in the insertions? And he goes, well, it came out, didn't it? So meaning he's talking about the Zaldico documents. But number one, do you mean to say that you were talking to Zaldico and you knew that this was going to come out, which is why you made those allegations back then? And number two, again, those documents are just itemized lists of projects. I'm not trying to side with one party over the other here. The point being that when you have a situation where everyone is accusing each other of something, tapos he said, she said, mahirap to try to make sense of it all. Something as simple as a seal, a stamp, could go a long way in helping the
In other words,
story,
we're looking
right?
for something more than just a list.
And something more than just accusations, right? Oo. So
Kasi a list is just a list.
it doesn't prove anything, right?
Yeah.
Hindi naman kailangan.
Not to say that it doesn't mean anything yet, but we're looking for something that would substantiate these things.
Exactly.
So that's one. The other one, of course, is the controversial COMELEC decision, which you can imagine will have serious implications down the line for all the other donors. All the other donor contractors. Marami. How many were there in the initial list of donor contractors that George Garcia was talking about before?
At some point he said, it was more than 20 definitely who donated to the 2022 campaigns.
Iba pa yung 25.
Iba pa yung 2025, correct.
So with this ruling by the unit of COMELEC, well, you can imagine what's going to happen to the other cases.
Just to read through some of the decision, the decision of COMELEC. Essentially, they said Centerways is not Lawrence Lubiano, and Lawrence Lubiano is not Centerways. So remember when we were talking to George Garcia about this, he said there is a principle of piercing the corporate veil, meaning you can't hide behind the corporate veil and try to distance yourself from your actions as an officer of the company, right? Sabi ng COMELEC, the PFAD, the political and finance, tama ba? PFAD?
Anyway, the unit that was
the
investigating
Political Affairs Division, correct, said that this office concurs that Mr. Lubiano is not Centerways and Centerways is not Mr. Lubiano, and therefore there's no violation of Section 95C of the Omnibus Election Code committed by respondent Lubiano.
I do remember kasi even in previous COMELEC generations, if you might call it that, this was already discussed and even then the consensus even then was magkaiba yung dalawa. So, parang it's always been a glaring hole that's never been plugged.
It is a glaring hole, and it, for me, violates the spirit of the law.
That's it, the spirit
Right?
of the law.
I mean, this is a technicality that they're getting by on, right? Okay, you're trying to argue that the person is separate from the corporation,
Mm.
but what was the reason that that law was crafted to begin with, right? It's to prevent government contractors or anybody who benefits from government contracts from influencing elections, right? And when you think about it, the personal enrichment of the person is inextricably linked to the government contracts, right? So how could you argue otherwise? Because when you think about how all of these contractors got rich, yung personal enrichment, wasn't that through public money? Wasn't that through public funding? So I don't understand how they could argue otherwise na the person is different from the corporation. Ito na nga yung, this is what we were worried about before.
Yeah. Although, meron din mga mukhang sasabit pa rin kasi merong mga contractors who actually donated as contractors.
Si Lawrence Lubiano donated as a contractor.
No. I mean, Lawrence Lubiano kasi is not the contractor of the DPWH. It's his company. Pero there were also contractor companies that made donations as the company.
As the company.
As a company.
Got it. That should be easier to pin down.
For example, New San Jose Builders donated 20 million pesos to Joel Villanueva's 2022 campaign. That's the company.
That's the company itself.
Oh, it's a company.
So
It's
then
not the
who
owner.
do you hold accountable if they were to say...
That's something we should ask Comelec.
If they were to say, okay, yes, you violated the Omnibus Election Code, but who is going to be held accountable for that, right?
If I remember correctly, itong San Jose Builders was hindi lang DPWH, I think it was a NHA, a housing contractor. But Section 95 deals with not DPWH contractors, but contractors in general of government.
Yeah.
Contractors and suppliers.
And then you also have to... So number one, with this decision of the COMELEC, not only does it violate the spirit of the law, but you also have to wonder, Chis Escudero is a UP law graduate. He's a lawyer. Are you telling me that as a lawyer, he doesn't know that he was violating the spirit of the Omnibus Election Code?
Kung naman, palibasa taga-UP lo ba, tingin mo?
Masyado ba mataas yun?
Some of the best and the worst lawyers of the country.
But that's my point.
Not to impute on which is which and who is who on what side. But some of the best and the worst lawyers
Came from
of
UP
the country
Law.
Come from UP Law.
Or some of the most brilliant but then argued for the wrong side came from UP Law.
When I say worst, I don't mean that they were
They're
bad
bad.
with law. It was that they were so good with law that they knew how to
That
use
they,
it.
that they twisted it for their own benefit. Yun na nga. I mean, but again, as a lawyer,
You had should I name names?
I guess yung iba, well, some of them are also dead, right? So, but my only point is that's such a basic provision of the Constitution of the Omnibus Election
Dito,
Code.
sabihin naman niya, galing ka,
Sa kuweba.
dumudumo ka naman sa kuweba.
Totoo naman, because when you read the law, and I urge everybody to go to the Omnibus Election Code and read the
Section
law.
95.
Section 95C, it's pretty straightforward. If you have a contract with the government, you are not to donate to politicians' campaigns. I mean, it doesn't... I don't understand. I don't understand how we could get more specific than that. And paano nagkaroon ng butas yung election law na yon, right?
Kasi I remember that kasi we were doing stories on questionable campaign contributions for the PCIG in 2010, I think, or 2013. The same issue cropped up. There were several private persons who made donations even though they were officers or founders of corporations that had either contracts with government or were exploiting natural resources. That's one of the prohibitions in the Omnibus Election Code. Companies that exploit natural resources are not allowed to be making donations to campaign
For
kitties.
obvious reasons, right?
Yeah, because you're extracting.
Exploiting minerals and natural resources, yes.
So kung may utang na loob dyan, edi, daling sumakay. But anyway, so even then, I don't know if it's 2010 or 2013. Even then, we were already told na may lusot dyan kasi. It's never been prosecuted in court because of that.
You know, that is exactly my point. Wouldn't this have been the absolute best time to prosecute somebody for it and show an example of it, right? Given all this outrage over the flood control scandal, now that we've seen how massive and systemic the corruption went, wouldn't this have been the perfect time to do it? As Comelec, my public appeal to you. Sana naman, I mean, it is absolutely correct. This is a long-standing problem, but talagang may butas that the politicians have been exploiting for many years. Pero sana naman, di ba?
Which is why you have so many contractor donors.
Until now, exactly.
Well, contractor donors in the sense that they're affiliated with the companies that are contractors.
Oo. But in Lawrence Lubiano's case, I believe he was the founder.
Okay, our guest is here. Let's bring him in.
We'll pivot first because we do have another big news to tackle. So let's bring in our first guest for today. We are talking to former presidential spokesperson, Attorney Harry Roque. Welcome back to Storycon, Attorney.
Yes, good evening to you and good evening, Philippines.
Hi, sir.
Good afternoon, pa, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yes.
First of all, may I confirm that you are back in the Netherlands, and can you tell us what your legal status there is now?
Well, I'm back in the Netherlands. I'm still an asylum seeker. Kahapon kasi, I was on board a flight to Austria pursuant to what is known as the Dublin Rules, no? Ang Dublin Rules kasi, because in EU, you can seek multiple asylums, no? And in order to prevent that, they have now a rule na you must seek asylum in the country that issued your visa or the country that was your port of first entry. When I entered in March, Europe, no? Netherlands was my country of first entry. Pero they explained that the rule that the country of first entry will process the asylum applies only to those without visas or passports. And what is applicable to me is the country that issued the visa. So anyway, after 7 months in Europe, ang problema dyan, while I am protected as an asylum seeker in the Netherlands, Netherlands has said that they will not process it because it is Austria that will process it. So once and for all, sabi ko, sige, punta na tayo sa Austria para masimulan na yung proseso na yan. Although my hesitancy is because I don't want to leave Tatay Digong in the Netherlands, no? Dahil nangako naman ako sa kanya, nasasamahan ko siya talaga, no? But para lang masimulan na yung proseso, kasi mukhang long-term itong aking hinaharap dito sa Europe, dahil mukhang long-term pang nandyan ng Marcos regime, sabi ko, sige, punta na ako sa Austria. But I had two medical procedures here in Europe. One was a major surgery last 30th, and another one is a minor day surgery 2 days ago. And both attending physicians issued a certificate of unfitness to fly. So ako naman, dahil sabi ko nga, sabi ng Netherlands, kailangan na pumunta ng Netherlands, ng Austria, I did not object dahil I did not want to seem ungrateful dahil I benefited from their universal health care, no, with my two medical procedure, no. I went, but the airline, when they saw the what is called the medical passport, when they saw the medical passport, asked, "Do you want to take this flight?" And I said, "No, because my physician said I should not." So why are you here? Because I thought I had no choice, and then inulit, but they want to take this flight. Sabi ko, no, because I want to follow my doctor's advice, not one but two doctors, and that's why they said, okay, you can go.
Right
now. So yun ang nangyari kahapon, no?
Attorney,
there was really yes.
I actually watched your interview with Maharlika, so wherein you detailed all of that. Let me just get a few things cleared up. So Netherlands said it would not process it. You have to go back to Vienna. Does that mean that was that a rejection on their part? And
no.
When did you get that letter?
No, it is not a rejection. It simply means it is Austria that should process the application. But meanwhile, because I really arrived in Netherlands and I am in Netherlands, I'm still covered by the right to non-refoulement. Pero kung gusto ko umusad yung proseso at talaga mabigyan ako ng asylum, then it is Austria, according to the Netherlands, that should process it.
So, sir, what exactly happened? Did you apply at the wrong place? Kasi you've been there already for 7 or 8 months in the Netherlands. That's where you applied for asylum.
Yes, well, my reading of the Dublin rules is I am able to apply at the Netherlands because it was my port of first entry.
Oh, I thought your port of first entry was Vienna, which is why you're being sent back there.
No, Vienna issued my visa in
Okay.
2023.
Got it.
Yes.
So your visa is came from Austria, but your port of first entry was Netherlands, and so you thought that the Dublin rules allowed you to apply for asylum in the Netherlands.
Yes, and in addition to the fact that I have what is known as a personal right already, of a private life in Netherlands, because of course I've been very well connected and integrated in the Filipino community that supports the former president here at The Hague in particular.
Pero sir, why would it take them 7 months to tell you that you're in the wrong place? You should be in Austria. I mean, I suppose that's a question in everybody's mind eh. Kasi matagal na ho kayo dyan, nung Marso pa ho. At parang bigla na lang ngayon sinasabi ng Netherlands sa inyo. Ang sabi nga ninyo kagabi kay Maharlika, hindi mo rin maintindihan kung bakit atat silang palisin ka dyan sa Netherlands. So parang, ba't bigla hong nagbago isip nila? O how does that work?
Hindi. Well, it's just that it takes a long time, I guess, no, to get things done in Europe, no. Pero meron din sila kasing lookout. Since it took them all the time, they only have until December 10 to ask me to go to Austria, no, to physically go to Austria, because if I'm still here by December 10, then they will be obligated to process my my application here in the Netherlands.
So there's a deadline of sorts.
Yeah, there's a deadline.
After which
Yes.
they are forced to be the ones to consider your application. In the meantime, sir, what happens to you now?
No, I'm here in the Netherlands, no, and for as long as I do not abscond, then I'm entitled to stay here still, no, because the earlier provision was for a voluntary facilitated transfer to Austria, which did not happen because of medical reasons, no. So ako naman, talagang ayaw kong isipin nila that I'm ungrateful, no, after they have, taken care of me for all this time, no. Pero given that the airline did not accept me because of 2 certificates of unfitness, wala naman ako magagawa dyan.
Pero sir, you also mentioned kasi na may deadline on December 10, after which time Netherlands will have to be the one to process your application. That's what 2 weeks from
Yes.
now, thereabouts. So
Yes.
what do we expect to happen between now and December 10?
I do not know, but what I am doing is I have reported to the immigration authorities and to the body responsible for my transfer to Vienna that I am in my existing address. They know my phone number, they know my email, so I'm not hiding. I do not know what will happen now. Pero sa akin naman, while I have accepted that Austria, according to them, should be the one to process the application, I prefer to stay in the Netherlands because of my promise to Tatay Digong na hindi ko naman siya iiwan. But when I was in the plane already, en route, thinking I was en route already to Austria, ang iniisip ko naman, I will just explain na hindi ko naman siya iniwan because I'm still in Europe, no? But ako, I do not know what will happen now, but I already complied with the Dutch authorities. Paulit-ulit kong sinasabi na I don't want to seem ungrateful naman, but yun nga, no, medical reasons naman, hindi rin ako pinayagan ng airline. So, I do not know what will happen next.
Tell us about this medical passport, attorney, because there was a bit of a confusion over here. The DOJ issued a statement saying you should not be able to travel without a valid passport. Immigration authorities at any country can detain you for traveling without proper travel documentation. But of course, we all know it's Schengen area, so there are no passport or border controls. But what document did you show the airline staff?
I did not show them anything. It's the Dutch authorities that showed them. Because when I applied for asylum, I had to surrender my passport and my driver's license to Dutch authorities, no? And they still have my passport and my driver's license, no? So everything was arranged already by the Dutch government, no? So I did not have to show anything. But I just want to highlight that under asylum law, you can enter any country, seek asylum, even if you do not have a passport, even if you do not have a visa. So sa akin naman, nagtataka nga ako bakit hanggang ngayon, ngayon pa lang nila sinasabi i-cancel ang passport. Kaya nga ako kung nag-apply ng asylum as early as March 19, it was when the DFA announced that they would cancel my passport. Pag hindi kasi ako nag-apply ng asylum then, at na-cancel ang passport, you are liable to summary deportation as an undocumented alien. No? So, sa akin, walang epekto sa akin talaga yung cancellation of passport kasi kaya ako nag-apply ng asylum dahil ang tagal na nilang sinabi kaya cancel nila yung passport ko eh.
Hindi ba limited din yung, I know under asylum law, well, it depends on the jurisdiction, no? Pero sometimes they also limit your travel within the area. In your case, they will allow you to travel into any country in the Schengen area?
That's my understanding, no? Kaya nga wala namang problem na moving from one country to another, no? But definitely, I cannot leave the Schengen area. Kasi wala akong passport. Yun ang problema. If I leave the Schengen area, I need a travel document. In fact, even if I want to go back to the Philippines and I don't have a passport, I would have to contact the Philippine Embassy and get a travel document to get back.
Yeah, correct.
Sir, so you're saying, sir, even if they canceled your passport here in Manila, basically you cannot be taken in or arrested or deported based solely on the lack of a passport.
Yes, because of the asylum, dependency of the asylum. Without the asylum, they would have been able to deport me summarily, no? But let me underscore the fact too that while I have seen the court decision ordering the cancellation of my passport on the ground that while I did not flee from a criminal prosecution, ang sabi ni judge is I have unjustifiably stayed outside of the jurisdiction of the court. So after I found out that I was charged criminally, but I will file a motion for reconsideration because the right to seek asylum is a fundamental human right, and I don't think it is an unjustifiable reason for staying out of jurisdiction of the court.
That's just what I was going to ask you. Have you filed your motion for reconsideration? You have only 15 days to do so, if I understood correctly.
Yes, I just got the decision 2 days ago.
So your plan is to file an MR?
Yes, and to dispute it all the way kasi we need to provoke jurisprudence also, no, on the importance of asylum law, no? Given the fact that we are a pioneer country that recognized the right of asylum seekers as early as when the Russian Tsar was deposed in Soviet Russia, no? And of course, we take pride in the fact that during World War II, we welcomed a number of Jewish individuals,
Yes.
no, to escape persecution in Europe.
In the meantime, sir, have you talked to anybody from Dutch immigration about the planned transfer of you to Vienna, Austria? Kasi nga, kung pinapa-apply kayo sa Austria pero hindi kayo makalipad ng Austria, what does that mean as far as your status is concerned now? Do you have to apply remotely if that's even possible with Austria or
Take the train?
Kasi or take the train. Kasi nga po 2 linggo na siguro bago December 10.
There's no new application required. There's no new application required kasi nga EU is a single political entity for purposes of immigration, di ba? Schengen nga. So I've lodged an application. The only issue under Dublin is which state will process it. But for as long as you've lodged an application, you have already the rights of an asylum seeker in the entire Schengen area. No? So, kaya nga, you really cannot be deported by any other Schengen state. No? So there's no new application required. And yun nga lang, if by 6 months I'm still not in Austria, then Netherlands will have to process the application. Wala naman kasi yung Dublin. Ako kaya lang iniisip ko na, sige na, pumunta na sa Austria.
I think we're losing him.
Attorney Harry?
Kasi simulan na yung proseso. Kasi, mabilis na yan. May marako sa bangak. I might as well have a long-term plan. Yes.
Sorry, we didn't catch the last. Sir, we didn't
Yes.
catch the last line. You went choppy for the last line.
Yes, well, I said, kaya naman ako, pwede na rin sa Austria para lang umusad na yung proseso. Kasi nga, despite the fact na inamin na ni Amy Marcos na yung kapatid niya ay bangag, nandyan pa rin, mukhang this is for the long haul, no? And I want to have a normal life naman, and that is why I just want the asylum process to
start.
proceed and be finally settled.
Attorney, I'm sure you also know that they're applying for a red notice alert for you with the Interpol. And when we spoke to PAO, they said they feel pretty confident it will be approved soon. Is this something that worries you? What's going to be your game plan?
Kasi puro disinformation naman ng gobyerno tungkol dyan sa red notice alert. They make it appear na parang it's an international warrant of arrest.
It's not.
It's only a request for assistance to apprehend and extradite to the requesting country. Seeker is not to be extradited back to his home country. So to me, that has no effect.
Oh, so it's not something that worries you. You're not.
It's not.
It
It's not
doesn't
something
curtail
that
your
will
movement.
override my right. Yeah, it's not something that will override my right as an asylum seeker in Europe.
Sir, you're having applied for asylum in Europe. Does that grant the asylum seeker absolute immunity from, I don't know, from deportation,
Prosecution, deportation, extradition.
or extradition to the home country?
Yes, in general, unless you're accused of, say, terrorism or, but if it's an ordinary crime, even if it's heinous, no, it will not override my right as an asylum seeker.
The overarching argument that you're trying to make is that you can't be repatriated back to your home country because of political persecution. How are you proving the political persecution part of it?
Kayo naman, how am I proving it? Obvious naman. When you are charged in court for a non-bailable case simply because you were doing your job as a lawyer, that's what you call unusual. No? Both days, because I was a part of the 17th Congress and my colleagues have told me, kaya ako pinupulbos dahil dyan sa pulveronic video which they attribute to me and which they have filed charges for incitement to sedition against me and a disbarment charge. No? So lahat yan, it's easy to prove. And mabuti na lang, na-validate na ni Amy Marcos na talagang bangag ang presidente. And in effect, she authenticated that video that has made the rounds, because she confirmed that her brother is an addict.
Well, sorry, sir. That doesn't really prove the video.
It doesn't.
It does
but
not
it
prove the
proves it's
video.
an addict.
Contrary to what you just said, it does not prove the video. It just adds another voice
I have two authentications that it is not AI. And I'm so happy that they actually filed disbarment against me because my expert witnesses will only allow the use of their opinion for court purposes. So now that there is a disbarment case against me, I can finally make public the authenticity pursuant to a study made by expert witnesses.
Sorry, sir. Are we talking about the same video? Ito yung video that went around in California, I think. It began in California. Was that the one?
Oh.
And we're getting choppy.
Attorney? Oh, yeah, the video is freezing a little bit.
Okay, I think we lost him. Sir, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hi, sir. There you go. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sorry, we lost you for a while.
Go ahead.
We lost you for a while. I'm just trying to make sure
Well,
that we're
I'm
talking about the
saying-
same video.
Yes, I will prove it because in the disbarment case filed against me, I can now append the expert opinion that it is not AI to prove its authenticity. No, unfortunately, that expert witness included in his contract that I can only use his opinion for legal purposes. And since there is now a legal case about the authenticity of the tape, finally, it can be shown, the expert witness.
Sir, my question, sir, just to make sure that we're talking about the same video, this is the video of a male that was shown in a gathering of supporters, I think, of Duterte in California. Is that the right one? Are we talking about the same thing?
Yes, the exact same video. Yes, the study that it is not AI, I will be submitting now to the Supreme Court. No, I do not know if the Supreme Court will make it public, but my agreement with the expert is I can only use it for legal purposes.
But, I mean, how does that help your case, though? Because, I mean, you think it's obvious that it's political persecution, but when we talk to the officials, they say that they have evidence against you and linking you to the Pogo Hub, and also that you lobbied on their behalf, right, during your time as cabinet secretary.
Well, that's why I'm saying it's unjust prosecution. Because do you think arranging for rescheduling of payment is complicity to human trafficking? Do you think representing a company, a lesser company for ejectment is complicity to human trafficking? Yun lang ang ebidensya nila. So ano pa bang ebidensya sinasabi nila? Wala na.
I wouldn't know. I asked about it, but they wouldn't release it to us. But I did ask about it. Kay PAOK Director Winston Casio.
Yeah. It's been published. The decision of the prosecutor has been published. And my alleged complicity is limited to 2 paragraphs.
Pero sir, in the end, you're looking at a long-term stay abroad. Wouldn't you prefer? I mean, knowing you, I think I sort of remember you as being somebody who would want to come home and take the bull by the horns. If you're seeking asylum in Netherlands, you're going to be there for long term. Wouldn't you want to come home, for example, to address the issues against you, to face your accusers in court, and to prove them wrong?
Who said I'm not facing the charges? I have a pending petition for review in the office of the Secretary of the Department of Justice against the information filed against me, after which I will seek recourse with the Court of Appeals. So hindi ko po tinatakbuhan yan. Ako po ay nagpa-participate sa proseso dahil meron naman ako talagang mga steps that are open to me to question the filing of the information in court. And that's pending now.
But what I mean is, you're being here yourself to face your accusers. Wouldn't you want to do that? Wouldn't you want to tell them straight to their faces na ito yung position ko, mali kayo, labas yung bala ninyo?
I am. I have faced them. I am facing them. It's now pending in the office of the Justice Secretary.
I guess Ed meant here physically. Wouldn't you want to be fighting this battle here?
I have physically filed my pleadings, petition for review, and after which, if it's not favorable, I will file my petition in the Court of Appeals.
Yes, sir. We understand, sir. I mean, of course, I also understand you being practical. My point of view lang kasi, from where I'm asking this question is, you're there in the Netherlands, you're going to be stuck there. I don't know if that's something you'd want to do.
Well, I don't think so because I'm confident that as soon as I get to the Court of Appeals, that they will know that there's absolutely no evidence. Kami mga lawyers, alam namin ng rules of evidence eh. Eh kung ebidensya mo lang, yung ejectment case at saka yung pagsama sa PAGCOR, wala talaga ikaw po pwede mapruebahan dyan. At wala na talaga silang ebidensya bukod dyan sa dalawang yan. Ang testimonya nila na ako daw ay naglakad ng lisensya, yung testimonya nung chairman ng PAGCOR at saka nung legal ng PAGCOR sa Senado, nasa ng complicity ng to human trafficking there. Kahit hindi ka abogado, malalaman mo talaga walang basehan yung pagsasampa ng non-bailable case for qualified trafficking. No? So hindi ako worried. Hindi rin ako worried na tatagal kasi meron namang remedyo talaga sa Pilipinas. At yan nga ay ginagawa ko ngayon at ginagamit ko yung mga remedyo na yan. Okay?
There are other charges against you din, no, attorney? It's, I think, inciting to sedition, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's a badge of honor.
You consider that a badge of honor?
when you're charged with incitement to sedition, that's a badge of honor. But there is a clear and present danger arising from your speech or your expression, and there is none.
So you admit that you were inciting to sedition?
No. Ikaw talaga. Iba naman yung umaamin. No?
Sabi mo, badge of
Sinasabi na
honor.
badge of honor. Badge of honor. Kasi itong gobyernong to, alam na natin kinakalaban na yung tao. No? So, ang sinasabi ko, as a long-term advocate for freedom of expression, hindi ka pwede magpakulong for speech unless there is a clear and present danger.
Because you
At
said...
walang clear present danger dun sa pinost ko
Oh dear.
on the video because we have a right to information dahil ang presidente aspect of day life.
Attorney?
Ang signal ang pangit-pangit, pumapangit ang signal. I don't know if it's from my end or your end, no?
Oo nga eh.
But anyway,
A last question, Attorney. At some point you said...
I really want to discuss this in detail. No? I want to discuss the incitement to sedition in detail because I was saying we have a right to know kung talagang addict ba siya. And I think this video at least gives us the right to inquire from the president ano ba talaga estado ng iyong pag-iisip dahil ikaw ay presidente.
But you deny that you were inciting to sedition.
No, that's never incitement to sedition. It's freedom of expression and the right to the people to information on matters affecting their everyday lives.
Attorney, at some point you said that, sorry to be personal, that you were running out of money because you have been on the run for a while. I'm just curious how you're supporting yourself now.
Well, I still am supporting from savings. I'm downgrading, and downgrading. I started living in a refugee center. I lived with Filipino families. Expires in 6 December, and I will be living again with the Filipino family. So, pwede naman tayong maging flexible sa buhay, no? So, from having my own apartment, I'm moving to renting a room with a Filipino family.
What about your family?
Well, my family has to subsist any which way, no? We all adapt to the circumstance. But I have to say, after a year and 2 months of not having been able to practice my profession, it has taken its toll on our finances.
You okay?
Okay, we will let you go. The line is getting a little bit worse. So we'll let you go for now. But thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
And hopefully, if we have any
Yes.
updates, we'll reach out to you and hopefully you can come back on the show then. Thank you so much for talking to us. Former presidential spokesperson, Attorney Harry Roque.
Thank you, sir.
Coming to us live from the Netherlands again.
So, just to recap, hindi raw rejected ang kanyang application sa Netherlands. He was just told that Austria should be the one handling the process of the application.
That's because he was given a visa by the Austrian authorities, although his first port of entry was the Netherlands.
But I think he also acknowledged na mali ata yung in-applyan niya kasi he entered Netherlands thinking that he can apply there. But they explained daw, Netherlands explained, that yung Dublin rule applies only to those without visas or passports. I mean, yung that you can seek asylum in a country where you entered. That only applies for those who have no visas or passports. But he has a visa coming from Austria. So, hindi applicable sa kanya yun. Yung nga lang, the strange thing is it took 8 months for them to tell him na you're in the wrong place. So, that's what we were trying to press kanina na parang, so how could that be that it took them 8 months? And he says na, mabagal sila dito sa Europa.
And I was trying to figure out when he received that letter saying you have to go to Austria, but that's when the line got choppy again.
Another thing that's sort of important, he's saying or he's saying that even without a valid passport, even if the government cancels his passport, which it already has, it will have daw no effect on him kasi as an asylum seeker, he does not need to have daw a passport. In fact, he surrendered his passport to the Dutch authorities and his driver's license, and they still have custody of his passport and driver's license.
And so at the airport in Amsterdam, in Schiphol, when the fake news broke that he was being arrested, he didn't have to present any document there. It was the Dutch authorities that presented the document showing that he has to go to Vienna in order to process his asylum application. Again, he is not holding a passport at the moment, not even a driver's license.
So, as far as he's concerned, wala raw problema for him moving from one country to another so long as he does not leave the Schengen area.
And at least, I mean, that's his understanding. But also, it has happened before, I think, that for some asylum seekers that they restrict travel within the Schengen area. It depends also on the jurisdiction, right? Of course, the whole region is passport and border control free, but some states are a little bit more conservative than others. They can very well say, no, we don't want any asylum seekers here. You can, pero sabi nga ni Harry Roque, his understanding is he should be able to travel within the Schengen area freely still, again, while waiting for his the decision on his asylum application, which sounds like it's going to be matagal pa. Because it's not clear if the process is being restarted in Vienna, although he doesn't have to lodge it again. But it's not clear if you're starting from scratch.
I can
from
imagine
there.
it starts from scratch kasi it's a different government that will now consider his application. Diba? Yes, you only have one application, pero it's a different person now looking at it.
Yes. Although he will nevertheless apply for a motion for reconsideration over the cancellation of his passport. Under his reasoning being that there's no legal basis to cancel his passport under the new Philippine Passport Act, because I think there are specific grounds there for a cancellation of passport. You'd have to be a terrorist.
You're wanted, you've been convicted, and you tampered with your passport or it's fraudulent. And meron pang isa you're a threat to public safety and public health.
That part is I think what they're... Well, I'm not sure if they're trying to pin him down on that, on what grounds they canceled his passport. Could be the wanted part, because there is a arrest warrant.
It's the wanted part.
There's an arrest warrant out for him now.
Yeah.
He also says that he doesn't think any of that will override his rights as asylum seeker. And he believes that he will be able to freely move around. And there's no basis now for the non-bailable case against him that PAOK and the, I think that was it which agency filed it against him? Hindi ko na maalala.
I think it was PAOK.
It's got to be PAOK, right? PAOK filing the qualified human trafficking charges against him. And yung red alert, red notice alert, he says it's not going to have any bearing on him because...
And then, what? Huh? No bearing in red notice kasi it's a request for assistance to apprehend and extradite and does not apply though to him.
According to him. But of course, the authorities may interpret it differently.
One more, although it's not even tangential, it's a bit off the pinag-usapan yung video, parang nalimutan ng mga tao yung video yun and he has the expert testimony, an expert witness that states that it is not AI generated, and with the disbarment case filed against him, he's now
free to reveal
free
it,
to use that finding in court.
And I wonder who that expert witness is, no? Which he wants to keep confidential for
Ito
now.
yung medyo malabong video na
of the president allegedly
the
snorting.
president, pero people are saying na parang hindi niya kamukha parang iba yung iba yung tsura and so people are saying na baka it's AI. And now he's saying na he has expert witness saying na no, it is not AI. But pwede namang totoong tao yun.
Just not the president.
There you go.
But even or was doctored, not necessarily AI, but just doctored by a human hand.
His expert is an AI expert, so he will prove or disprove through his testimony whether it's AI generated or not. It does not necessarily prove or disprove if it's a president or not.
And again, how does it prove his case, right? it's just it's tangential to it. It seems like. But anyways, we will leave that there. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for listening to us.
In case you notice, we didn't try to deal with the issues of yung whether or not he should be facing whether or not the cases against him have merit, because that's for the courts to decide now.
Exactly. We're just trying to ascertain the facts, the circumstances that he's in right now. Join us again tomorrow, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Edlin Gao, kapatid. We are One News, all sides, all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.